Yeah, we're live. I'm excited. All right. Let me go ahead and invite some people. Invite. Hi, Toy. Trying to share and invite people. Look at me, hearing my own self right now. Okay. Hey guys, if you are watching, say hi so I can say hi back to you. And also, if you are watching, please share this broadcast while I work to share this broadcast as well. Hey, Benjamin. Hey, Dante. Hi, guys. How are you guys doing? I'm just trying to share this broadcast real quick. Waiting for some more people to come on. If you're watching, say hi so I can say hi back. Sometimes I can't see who's on unless you comment. Just trying to share. Hey, my beautiful sister Leah is on. How are you? I miss you. I cannot wait to see you next month. I cannot wait. I'm excited. Hey, JoJo. All right. We got people rolling in. I'm just trying to share the broadcast real quick to my other pages. If you haven't already, please share this broadcast. I am so excited about this conversation, and I'm excited about who I'm having this conversation with. Hey, Lorraine. I'm about to say Lorraine Ray. Hey, Lorraine. Hey, Boo. I'm coming, guys. I'm just sharing. We're going to start in just a minute. If I can get my life together, guys, so I can share it to my other page, it'll be all right. Are you guys sharing? Sis cleaned it all the way up. Hey, Latisha. I'm about to bring you on in just a second. I'm just sharing right quick. All right. So, if this is your first time watching, this is Mature Conversations. This is my 4th episode where I have mature conversations with guests every 4th Monday at 8 p.m. So this is the 4th episode. Hey, Tiffany. This is the 4th episode, and I'm just excited about this conversation because we are definitely talking about love, relationships, and we have some specific topics, and I have a very special guest. I am not going to wait any longer, so let me go ahead and bring her on because I am just way too excited. All right, Latisha, I don't see you, so I can add you, so go ahead and request to come on to the live so I can get you on here. There we go. Let's see. We did a test run, so we should be good. There we go. All right. Bear with us 1 second. It's saying I'm not able to add her on. Not sure why. We tested this out. There we go. So she should be coming on in just a second. If you guys have not already done so, please share this broadcast.
We did it.
There we go.
We did it.
There we go. There we go.
Hey,
I am so
everybody.
I'm so excited about tonight. I don't know why I'm like this excited. I'm so excited about tonight. I think this is going to be like one of the best mature conversations yet. So this is none other than Latisha. And so I'm just going to give you some info on her. So what I like to do is when someone comes on, I just like to say like how I know them, what I know of them. So she probably doesn't even realize, but my previous church that I went to, she would come sometimes to sing, and also her son is a pastor.
Oh, wow.
And at
Okay.
the time he would come to our church and help like do choir directing.
Oh,
And
wow.
so yes. And so I always remembered her coming from time to time to sing. And we would have like special events and special services and everything like that. You see, you never know who's watching you.
Right, you don't.
You never know who's watching you. So, you know, we became Facebook friends, and she was going live, right? Before I started doing mature conversations, and so she would do her live broadcast, and it's called Talks with Tisha. And I just loved her free spirit, had just having conversation and really like having those mature conversations. And I love it. I just love it. I feel like so much can happen through honest and open conversations. Healing, opening your mind, changing your perspective on things. And so I just think that is very important for us as adults to continue to have sometimes uncomfortable conversations.
Right.
Because that's how we grow, right?
It is definitely how we grow.
That is definitely how we grow. So I just want to give a little bit about Latisha. She is the executive pastor of City of Hope Ministries. Whoop, 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 whoop. And so she's also the founder of Latisha Alston's My Sister's Keepers and Sister to Sisters Women's Ministry. She's also an entrepreneur, and she's also an author. And like I said, she sings. So she is also a recording artist, and she is working on her second
Yes,
single.
thank you, Jesus.
And so go ahead and just tell them really quick, what's the name of your single that you have out, and the name of your single coming out, just so that people could get more acclimated with you.
The single that I already have out is called Ruler of Everything. And God blessed me to sing When the Saints Go to Worship. A couple of years ago. I sang it at a convocation a couple of years ago. So I am excited about releasing that.
Okay, listen, I'm excited too.
Yes, so I'm excited about being able to release that song soon. So that'll be out
Yes,
within the next few months.
yes,
So
yes. I'm excited. I'm excited to hear that. Listen, I feel like we really need to continue to support each other, one another. So listen, if you have a single, a book, a ministry out, I'm gonna always support, gonna always push it. We don't do enough of that,
right.
especially in the kingdom. And so I am all for it, and I cannot wait to hear your new single. I know you guys are going to enjoy it as well. She can sing.
Thank you, Jesus.
All right, so let's get into this conversation. So if this is your first time watching, welcome again. Please interact in the comments, ask questions, give commentary. We also want to converse with you while we're having a conversation. So tonight's conversation, our main topic, y'all ready for this?
Name.
So our main topic is, what do you bring to the table in a relationship, right? And can you supply what you require in a relationship?
Wow.
And so I like to just give a quick backstory of how this topic came about. I'm not going to go too heavy on this person because we're not here to discuss anyone, but this is what sparked it up. So my husband and I, we always have opposing views on just about everything except for loving the Lord. And is this guy, his name is Kevin Samuels. Have you ever heard of him?
I don't think so.
Okay, so just a quick little synopsis. He's this guy, he has a podcast or a show or something, and different people call in who are looking for love, who want to have a relationship or a marriage. And they, Loretta said, good night, Kevin. So they come on for advice. And so what he does is he'll ask them a series of questions like, oh, what's your weight? What's your height? What's your college education? What, have you been married before? Any kids? Things like that. And then he basically like just analyzes them like, well, you are not getting a man or you're not getting a woman because you're this and you're that and you don't have this and you don't have that. And so he has become very like social media famous. A lot of women particularly are not that fond of him because they feel like he's too harsh with his analysis or whatever. But that's how this topic came up, because my husband and I were just, having a conversation about that, because I saw this one clip, because I don't watch his show or follow, but I saw a clip, and this one woman, she was just saying how she wants a guy who made a certain type of money, like a certain, basically in a specific tax bracket. And so his thing was, well, you are single, you already have children, X, Y, and Z. That's not the type of man that you want, is not going to marry you or going to wife you, basically. So my husband and I got into that conversation. So that's how this conversation came up. So when you hear, what do you bring to the table? What are some things do you think about, like as far as in a relationship? What does that really mean? What do you bring to the table?
So for me, because I have been married before, what do you bring to the table? I don't think, me personally, I'm not going to ask for something from someone that I can't give myself. That's just me. I'm not really big on the I want you to have 6 figures. I need you to drive the type of car. I need you to X, Y, and Z. No. I need you to be able to love me the way I love you. I want you to be able to support me the way I support you. I want you to be able to encourage me, because I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to push you to be your best self. So I need that in return. So those are the things that I expect in my mate. We can build together. Yeah. We can build financially together. We can do some of those things. Now, no, I don't want, Joe Bum off the street either. Yeah. But if I got a job, you have a job. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just, simple things like that. But all of the, I need you to have a 6-figure income, that kind of stuff. I don't have a 6-figure income. Right. No, I don't have a 6-figure income. So, it would be nice if we can get there together. Yeah. I push you and you gonna push me. You know what I'm saying? We can definitely get together, because that's definitely what I want. But I need, I'm not looking for all of that extra, all of that other crazy stuff. It's just, no. I mean, like, I've been married before. I know I'm realistic about about thing. I'm 45 years old, so I'm not looking for, the foolishness. Right. You don't got time for it. So you're right. I don't have time for that. So those are the things that I want. I just need, be there for me, because I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to, I promise you, I'm gonna be your biggest cheerleader. You know what I'm saying? I'm going your ego. I'm gonna make your ego out to here. You know what I'm saying? All of those things. Men love that. Right. You know what I'm saying? I need those things in return. I want the time. I want communication. I want consistency. Those are the things that I want. And I don't think those are outrageous things. Right. Any of those things are outrageous. So yeah, that's what I expect. So if I can give it, I expect to get that in return. Right. So I'm with you. Like, I totally agree with that. I'm big on, so to me, it sounds like, as far as you personally, right, what you expect is more so things of value, Absolutely. Not so much tangible things, not at all superficial things. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I love that. I love that. I'm right here with you
Yeah.
on that. So it's like that's my view too. What I require is what I can give you. I'm not going to
Exactly.
require from you something that I cannot provide, right? Just
Absolutely.
as a human in a relationship. So then that leads me to a question of, do you believe in male female roles? Because now thinking about it, right, hearing myself say it again, I require what I can give.
Hmm.
So do you think sometimes we may have expectations as men and women, like men have specific expectations that they put on a woman, like, because you're a woman, I require this, I require that. Like, for an example, I thought about it, I was having a conversation earlier. I feel sometimes men have unrealistic, well, I don't want to say unrealistic, men have sometimes requirements of women physically.
Right.
They can look like, no offense, just an analogy, they can look like Fat Albert, and sometimes some, not all, some, like, oh, she got to have a, hourglass figure. Oh, she got to be fit. She can't be too big. She can't be this. Oh, I want her to have her hair. I don't, she
Mm.
can't wear too much makeup. She can't wear. And then other times, like you said, referencing to some women, they don't even have a six-figure income, but they're like, oh, I only want this status. I only
That.
date this status. So do you,
But what you
like,
get?
you agree with that? Like, as far as sometimes there are like double standards that people really do require sometimes things that they can't even live up to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like, um, as women, okay, let me just put it this way. As women, um, we're mothers, we're wives, we're all of these things. We take care of home, we do all this X, Y, and Z. We do all these things. Um, in a realistically, do you expect to see me walk around looking like I'm ready? I mean, like I'm ready to go to the show 24/7. Are you serious? I work, I cook, I clean, I do it all. Thankfully, my sons are adults now. But I mean, let's be
Right.
realistic. Can you do it, sir?
Right.
Can you do it? Can you look like Idris Elba 24/7?
Absolutely not. We all
So
know that.
don't expect me to look like
Right.
Halle Berry 24/7. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Let's be realistic in this.
Right.
Seriously. Love me, appreciate me for me.
Yes. Yes.
Love me and appreciate me for me. Because all of this, I'm gonna tell you, this and all this right here, it's gonna fall.
Yes.
It's, you know what I'm saying? It's all it's not gonna be there. It's not gonna be there 10 years down the road. Love
Right.
me for me,
Yeah.
flaws and all, imperfections and all. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a double standard, and we have to get rid of that mentality. We have to get rid of that mentality, especially if it's real, if it's real
Yep.
love. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you
Yep.
love me for me.
Right. Right.
Love me for who I am today, and love me for who I'm going to be in 5 years.
Yes. Yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. So let's see. I
Let's
want
be
to
like,
scroll and look at some of the comments. Look at some of the comments. Okay. So let's see. I feel he's too in touch with his female side. Oh, Lord. They're talking about Kevin Samuels. All right. Good night with that. She said good night to Kevin Samuels. Toya, please tell me if I'm saying your name right. Toya. She said, I am the table. When we were talking, she said,
absolutely.
I am the table. Larea said, equally yoked, but not potentially yoked. I like that.
Wow. Okay, I like that.
She be coming with the good quotes. Equally yoked, but not potentially yoked.
I like that.
I like that. That's a whole nother conversation right there. Cause
Right.
all
Woo.
right, we're gonna leave that one alone. We're gonna save that for another night. Cause I could have really went all the way left off this conversation for that.
Right.
That's good. Right, no time. Make your request known to the Lord so he can give you what you need and want. We all want something, but it's all about what's needed. That's true. That's true, because we could have a preference of something and that's not what God has for
Right.
us, or be the best thing. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Physical is worldly. Fat Albert may love you better than Chris Brown. I want the husband, not the looks. I am with you on that. I'm with you. Uh-oh, my husband done stepped in the chat.
Come
Love,
on,
flaws,
Latisha.
and all. Yes, I do love you, sir. I do love you. Listen, I gotta love him. He loved me. Listen, when I snatched my wig off, he still loved me just the same. So
That's what I'm talking about. When I take the lashes off, when
yes,
the weaves come off,
yes,
when I'm saying, can you love me?
right,
Can you love all of me?
right,
You know what I'm saying? Because
right.
when I walk out the door, I'm gonna look good. I'm gonna represent you.
Okay.
I'm gonna look good. But when I come home and I
Yes.
unrobe
Let my hair down.
and let all this down, can you still love me?
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Because
Yes.
when you come home and you take off your jeans and all this kind of stuff, and that extra robe comes all out and all that kind of stuff, I'm gonna love on that, and I'm gonna say, "Come
Right.
here." You hear what
That's
I'm saying?
right.
Exactly. So I just need that same. I need that same from you.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. So we are going to go to our next topic about things to look for before marriage.
Things to look for.
Yes, things to look for before marriage. So like I was telling Latisha, so many people desire to get married.
Right.
And listen, we just celebrated being married for 10 years. Trust me, there are
Wonderful.
things that you should know before marriage. And so I never try to deter people from getting married. But what I do tell them is, because of my husband and I got married, I would say, to me, fairly young, right? We've been together 14 years. I'll be 37 in April. We've been together 14 years. So that's almost half our lives, basically. And so because we had to grow together and still grow together, we both have come and said, you know what? I wish I knew this before we got married. I wish
Oh,
I knew that before, we got engaged, things like that. And so I feel like I love being married. I love marriage, right? But there are some things I feel like people ignore because they want to hurry up and get down the aisle. They're in that race to be like, I just want somebody to love me. And it's more than just hugs and cuddles. So let's hear it from you first. What are some things that we need to look for, that people need to look for before marriage and consider before marriage?
oh wow. Okay. So again, I've been married twice. My first marriage, we were married for 18 years.
Wow.
Children's father, he passed. And my husband that wow, then my husband that passed. I'm 20 in 2019, we were married for 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So in my first marriage, we got married when I was 19. He was
Wow.
21. And very young. So of course, then it's like, oh, it's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage is so cute. I wanted to leave home. So that was my excuse. Oh,
Oh,
all those silly things or whatever. So that experience. My second marriage, I was older. I was more mature.
yeah.
So I knew, what to look out for. What were the red flags? I think I saw somebody put up red flags.
Uh-huh.
And for me, my first husband dealt with the mental issues. He dealt with a lot of mental issues. So
Okay.
those are red flags for me. Second
Right.
time around, oh no, we're not gonna do that. So
Right.
I was more cognizant of, those things. We don't talk about stuff like that in church.
Right.
We don't talk the mental illnesses. We don't talk about things like that. So for me, what is his mental state?
Yes.
That's important to me.
Yes.
How does he act when he's upset?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? How does he talk to his mother? how does he talk to the women in his family? If he has children, how is he with his children's mother? You know what I'm saying? How does he treat his children? Those were flags. Those are things that I think about. You know what I'm saying? How is he with money?
Yeah.
Can he keep a job? You know what I'm saying? Those are things. Those are things that I look at, because again, I was a kid when I got married the first time. When second time, I was grown. You know, grown. So I knew what to look for. You know what I'm saying? I look for those things. So can he keep a job?
Right.
Does he have a bank account? And it's money in it.
Right.
Does he have a real bank account, or does he have one of those, you know, those other kind of cards?
Yes.
Prepaid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What does his credit score look like?
Come on, tell him.
What does his credit score look like?
Right.
You know, if we need a place, can you put a house in your name, or an apartment in your name? Can you put a car in your name? Those are the things I look for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Can we do any? You know what I'm saying? Can we go out of town? Are you wanted? Can you leave the state?
You running it down.
The state. Can you leave the country?
Come
Can
on.
you get for it? You know, those are things that you look for. You know, in someone that you're dating, someone you want to marry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's his last name? Have you talked to his parents?
Yeah.
Have you talked to his mother? You know what I'm saying? Because if he wants you to be around his family, why?
Yep.
What do they know about him that he doesn't want? You know what I'm saying? Those are the things. Those are the, you know, things that you think about. You want to know.
Yep.
You know, so those are just some of the things that I, you know.
Listen, that right there, I don't even think I got much to add to. I promise you, I just jotted a few things down, right? And I was like, all right, we're gonna bounce off of each other. The first thing I put was his mental well-being, mental history of his family.
Absolutely.
And let's not just say his or her family, because we have men watching too. So mental history of his or her.
Exactly.
And I said relationships with the mom and dad, because we talk about women, right? Men, we'll be like, oh, well, what is his relationship with his mom? But also the men have to look at, what is the female's relationship with her dad? Does she have daddy issues?
Absolutely. Because
Does she have daddy issues?
Exactly. Because I don't want to be mama, and I don't need him to be my daddy.
Right. Because that's a whole nother issue.
Whole nother issue
in itself. And I said this, the last thing I put was communication with family, because that is very important. Like, you don't live to please that person's family, but how they interact and their family dynamic plays a big part in their personality. And how they handle conflict resolution, how they handle pressure, how they handle finances. When you look at the person's family, and that's why I want people to come out of, sometimes you can jump a little too far ahead. Like, okay, you know how let's say you see a female and they met a guy, and maybe the first or second date they start talking about, oh, well, do you want kids? Do you want X, Y, and Z, or blah, blah, blah. And some people might think, well, oh, that's too much to talk about. To me, at this point, it's not. Because especially if you've made your intentions known, hey, I'm not looking to play around. This is what I seek. This is what I want. Then you should be able to have that conversation.
Yeah. My time is.
Yes. And look, if you want to be exclusive, then you should have no problem with me coming around the family.
Absolutely.
Inviting me to family functions. You don't have to introduce me as your girlfriend at the moment. But if you are telling me we are exclusive and there's nobody else around right now, and we're dating or we're courting or whatever that is,
they need to see me and I need to see them.
I need to see them.
Exactly.
because that tells a lot. Because the person can tell you all they want to tell you, but when you see them in action with their family and
Right.
how their family is, that
Right.
says a whole lot.
A whole lot.
A
whole
lot.
lot. Yeah, it does. It says a whole lot. So yeah, and I think my biggest thing is I'm not your secret.
Say that.
I'm not your secret.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not your so and I've been that. Oh my God, I've been in that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, no, I'm not your secret at all. Mm-mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm-mm. You don't have to splatter me all over your social media
Right.
page, because I'm not going to splatter you all over mine either. But your family should know me and my family should know you. If
Right.
I've got to the point to where I'm comfortable with you, you're going to meet my family, because
Right.
my is important to me. And one, my family needs to know who I'm with.
Right. Because sometimes you will have some blinders on and you might not be able to see certain things,
Oh, but my
but
mom.
your family, even your closest friends may be able to say, you don't even get down like that. So now all of a sudden you into this, you into that. Like, what's happening? You know, and so sometimes people are not hating on you. Some people are not trying to crush your dreams or trying to
Mm-hmm.
get married or whatever. They see
Right.
something that you don't see
Absolutely.
sometimes.
Yeah.
How we get there? That needed to be said. That needed to be said. But
Absolutely.
what's so funny is Shawana said playing board games and card games will reveal everything you need to know. Let's play Uno and see who you really are. That is funny. I promise you. Because now thinking about it, playing board games really do show people's true, authentic temperament. Let's
Right. Doesn't
see.
have a prayer life. Whole family may be atheists. Right.
Wait, I missed that.
Wait, she says, does he have a prayer life? His whole
Yes.
family may be atheist and he may be chosen. Wait.
Listen, thank you for reminding me. That comment right there, that kind of goes into, oh boy, we going there. That to me goes into what Larea said when she said equally yoked, not potentially yoked. Reason being, you can meet someone and say, hey, do you go to church? Yeah, I go to church. That does not equate to you having a relationship with God.
Not at all. Not at all. It does not.
So it don't matter if you go to church. Do you, like somebody said, do you have a prayer life? And I can't just ask you, do you have a prayer life, right? I mean, sometimes, obviously, if you have discernment, you can tell if a person really does have a prayer life or not by their dialect, what's coming out of their mouth, their actions. But you can't just really ask, oh, do you have a prayer life? Do you have a relationship with God? Of course, they're going to say, yeah, especially if they know that you have a relationship with God.
Right, right.
It's about your actions. Let us get into a tough spot. Is the first thing you're going to do is what? Are you going to lead us in prayer? Are you going to suggest let's pray? Or you trying to do something else?
Right.
So these really are things that you need to look for. And I just feel that at any age, whether you're young, when you're young, you don't think of nothing. You just, oh, you know, the lovey-dovey feeling. Oh, you know, I just love you so much. It's you know, I just love you. So I'm just so full of love. I just want to get married and love someone. I just want to be somebody's wife. I want to be able to do this and do that. But then you have a more mature crowd where it's like that time clock. The time is ticking. I don't have time to waste. My eggs drying up, whatever. You know, those things like, oh, you know, everybody's married. Everybody has children. I don't have much time. I'm getting older. And so then they desire marriage, but then they forget about the vital things that you need to know in order to have a healthy marriage. And so like I've told someone, listen, I'm not saying that you have to be perfect to get into a marriage, right? But these are you have to come from a place of wholeness, because if you don't, that person, you will look to that person to fully complete you, and you will lose yourself in that person. You will become
completely.
You become somebody you don't even know.
Absolutely. 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 That's where you have to have, God has to be in the middle. He has to be in the middle of that relationship.
Yeah.
And there has to be a level of prayer.
Yes.
There is no way around it. And I will say, I think going back to what you were saying, and it doesn't have to be necessarily, how do I want to say this? About asking a person, do they have a prayer life, and do you love God, and all those type of things. For me, being single and being saved, being single, being saved, being in a position of leadership in my church, that's heavy by itself. I don't necessarily lead with that when I meet someone.
Right.
I don't necessarily lead with because it can be intimidating. It can be very intimidating for the opposite sex. I don't know why. It's intimidating. I don't understand it, but it is. It's intimidating to a point. So in meeting someone, like I said, I don't ever lead with that. But I watch their actions. I watch how they communicate, the things that they say. Every now and then I may drop something like, because God is so good, or you know what I'm saying? You drop it because you want to see what they're going to say in return. What are they going to say? You know what I'm saying? And then when, they do, it's kind of like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, God is real good because he did X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of leads into that conversation, or it may not lead into that conversation. So again, it's just different. Dating, being saved, and I don't know how we got here, but dating, being saved, and loving the Lord is weird. It's kind of weird because we know what we've been taught all of our lives, marriage, but they don't teach you how to get there. It's just like you meet the guy, you meet the girl, and it's like, oh, you're married. But what's the in between? How did you get there? You know what I'm saying? They don't teach you about the courting. They don't teach you about that it's okay to go out. We don't get that. We just get that the Lord loves and honors marriage. Right. But how do we get there? Right. How do we get to that point?
This is good. This is
what I'm saying? How do we get to walking down the aisle and saying I do? Yep. We don't have that type of conversations. We
don't.
About, it's okay to like him. It's okay to like her, because eventually him and her are going to be Mr. and Mrs.
Right.
So how do we get there?
Yep. You're right. We don't. It's just automatically, oh, well, you go to church, oh, all right, y'all like each other, well, y'all need to get married, so y'all not in here sexing.
And that's it. That's it. Listen to, basically, been there, done that. Been there, done that.
Wow.
Been there, done that. I'm serious. Been there, done that. So I think that's kind of why I have a preference when it comes to my dating. Because I've been there and done that. Right. Right. So when you were saying, about, asking them about, your prayer life, do you have a prayer life? And the prayer life, a little something went off, and they're just like, okay. So anyway, but yeah, we don't have those conversations, and those are conversations that we need to have in the body
Yeah.
of Christ.
Yeah, definitely. We
Yeah.
definitely do. We do. And again, I don't know how we got here, but we got here for a reason. Somebody's watching this for a reason. So we're going to stay in this flow.
Yeah.
We don't have enough of those conversations in the church.
No, you don't.
And there are a lot of marriages. I don't know why. I keep going back to Laraya's comment. Something about that comment got me stirred up about being equally yoked. And see, what people don't understand is it doesn't just mean that, oh, someone has one foot in the world and the other person goes to church. Two people can go to church, they can love God and still not be equally yoked.
True.
So that's heavy. That is so heavy.
It's very, very heavy.
Just because you love the Lord and I love the Lord does not mean that this is supposed to be this union.
Right.
And again, the church does put, a thing over people where you just, you got to get married. But again, like you said, it's not being taught how you get there.
Right.
Things to look for beforehand and things of that sort. Like I said, me and my husband, we've been together for 14 years. I think within the first 6 months, he proposed to me. Within the first 6 months. We stayed engaged for 4 years. For 4 years, we stayed engaged. And even afterward, after years passed of us being married and us having conversations with other people, we both openly said, two people, honestly, even though we were engaged 4 years, if we would do it all over again, we would still get married, but we would have still even waited longer. So we got some things in order. So that even goes back to timeline. People put so much pressure on the time and within this time bracket, I need to be married. I need to be joined with someone because of this time period.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I don't agree with, I saw a meme the other day about, oh, it doesn't take a man. Oh yeah, it literally said it doesn't take a man 4 years to decide whether he wants to be married. Sometimes he's decided the moment he met you, but that doesn't mean that y'all supposed to go run right away and get married, because there are some things that you do need to get together before you join as one, because that means your issues become my issues, your debt becomes my debt, the issues in your family bloodline become the issues in our family's bloodline, because whatever issues that your family is dealing with, we're going to see in our children. And those are things that we do not talk about in the church, outside of the church.
We don't talk about them at all.
Hey, you go to church with somebody and you see them up there, they could be anointed, but they up there performing and acting a fool up there. Guess what? It might look cute now, but somehow that's going to translate into the core of their issue when y'all behind closed doors of why that person is the way they are up there performing or whatever. Or you're going to see it in your children. You want to know why they acting so, why they so extra? What is going on with them? Not knowing in your family bloodline, you got AZD going on, you got schizophrenia going on, things like that. Being realistic.
Absolutely.
But you didn't ask enough questions. You just wanted to be lovey-dovey, boo loving. You didn't go anywhere outside of the bedroom. Hello, to be able to see those mannerisms and characteristics outside the bedroom. We don't talk about those things. But
we don't talk about. We need to. We have our young people, like literally. There's some things that I've watched in my parents' relationship that I said, okay, I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z. There was just some things that I said I'm not going to do. I'm not going to allow that to happen into my marriage. I'm not going to allow that to happen. But we don't have good role models. You know what I'm saying? Our parents, they were trying to get through it. They were trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? Their parents before them, because we didn't talk.
Yep.
Mama didn't talk about her relationship. Grandma didn't talk about her relationships. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like a trickle effect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So our daughters are dealing with the same stuff that we dealt with because we didn't say, baby, wait, or baby, this, do this or not do this, or I went through this. We don't talk. We just don't talk. We don't talk. And I'm gonna tell you, have you seen the movie? It's a, I'm guessing, I think it's maybe a Disney movie, Encanto.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that part that we don't talk about Bruno,
Yes. Yes.
that part right there,
Mm-hmm.
it eats me up inside every time I watch the movie. And I think
Yeah.
I've seen it more than my grandkids have seen it, just
Wow.
because of the message in that picture.
Yep.
We don't talk. We don't talk about the things that go on in our families because we're so hush hush. What goes in my family stays in my family.
Yep.
What goes in my house stays in my house. We don't talk.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So we let pedophiles within the family. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about molesting. We don't talk about that grandma was molested and that
Right.
mama was molested and the daughter was molested. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, this stops here. My grandchild will never, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't
Yeah.
talk about those things.
Yeah.
We don't talk about, we just don't talk.
You right.
I don't get it. Like, I don't understand in the society where you would think all we do is talk and run our mouths. We don't talk about the important issues. We don't talk about the important things. We don't talk about the important things that we need to. Mothers, talk to your daughters. Fathers, talk to your sons. You know what I'm saying? Teach them how to be men. Teach daughters how to be women. You know, how to be wives. We don't talk, and I don't understand. Like, what is it? I'm thankful. I literally, I wanted a daughter. I did. When I was like, oh yes, God, give me a daughter. Give me a daughter. Listen to me. I'm so glad I raised 3 sons. I'm so glad I raised 3 sons because I don't know if I would have been able to honestly have those conversations with my daughter because I was molested. I was raped at 9.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So those are conversations I would have had to have with my daughter because I would have been so afraid of her going anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. I got 4.
My boys, they didn't go to house to house to house to house. We didn't do that. I didn't have babysitters. I had a mother. I didn't have babysitters. I stayed home, or either my kids didn't go or I didn't go. We didn't do all of that kind of stuff because of those things that happened to me. I didn't play those games. We need conversation. We need to talk. We need to teach our daughters how to be wives.
Look, how to be wise, right? But also what to look for in a husband too, because sometimes I feel like we get heavy on that too. Sometimes, if this is how you should be a wife, X, Y, and Z, and you so focused on trying to build yourself up to be available for that person, and then you have nothing to expect from the husband as well too. And so, something you said about we need to have those conversations and tell your daughters X, Y, and Z. What I found is sometimes those conversations happen too late. So the conversation happens when you're already in a relationship. Oh, well, he's this or she's that, watch out for this. And it's like, it's too late for that. Like, I'm already in this thing. Yeah. And so what I try my hardest with 4 girls, listen, from the beginning. 4? From the start. Hey, listen. We can't do it like, okay, prime example, not to get too heavy into it, but our 17-year-old got a little boyfriend, got a little okay. So he's so respectful. He messages and calls my husband and say, hey, can I take her out on this day? Always. It filters straight through my husband. And he's like, okay, you can, where you going, X, Y, and Z. So with that, I tell her, listen, he asks you out, right? He asks you out, right? Make sure you have your own money.
Absolutely.
Make sure you got your
That's
own
it.
money.
That's it.
Let him take you out. He wanna, take you out to eat, or whatever, them indoor little gaming things or whatever. Let him show you a good time. But you also make sure you cover yourself. Just in case. You never know. Just in case. Just those kind of things.
Absolutely.
But even the younger ones, where they start getting little crushes. Hey, listen, we got it. What you feel is natural. I'm happy you're telling me you like a boy, but what you're feeling is natural.
Right.
I'm happy that you think he a little cute. Oh, you like the way he laughed. Okay, that's natural. So we don't shame you for that, but it only goes beyond. It don't go beyond that right now, because this is what you need to focus on.
Right.
Let's focus on this. Let's focus on building yourself up first. Let's focus on your goals and aspirations first, and then we can hone in on it. Now, like I know that doesn't always work as a female or a male is coming up. But if you keep instilling those things, even from when they're younger.
Yeah.
My daughter's 10. Well, she's not 10 yet, almost 10. And I started talking to her about a little dynamics of, boyfriend, girlfriend kind of thing, because they need to see that. And the same thing, even in the home, what you can tell your children, right, something or how something should go, but ultimately they're going to watch.
Absolutely.
And so one thing that my husband and I are like, okay, every marriage is, let's say we have an argument or whatever, some conversations we do like to have in front of them. You want to know why? Because it teaches them, how do you properly handle conflict resolution and communication with your spouse?
Right.
Because if they never hear anything, they don't even know. They won't know how to communicate at all. They won't know how to have a conversation with your husband or your wife. They won't know how to handle a conflict, even with gentleness and love, whether it's coming from the man, the head, or the wife. And so we don't have those type of conversations. It's just, y'all like each other, okay, let's get married. Oh, you got these butterflies, oh, let's get married and we'll figure it all out later. And that's why we have so many issues.
So many issues.
Yes.
If we really, honestly, if we can really just be open and be transparent. It's okay to be transparent.
Yeah.
It's okay to be transparent. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just have the conversation. Come here, sweetheart. I'm seeing that this is what you do. I can see, you know what I'm saying? You like him, he like you, whatever. Let me tell you what happened to me. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me tell you my story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you will be surprised. Just the knowledge, the wealth of information that we could give these young people.
Yeah.
And just for being transparent and open and honest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Tell them I messed up.
Yep.
Yeah. I messed up. You know what I'm saying? I had little Johnny before I got married. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I did. I did. God bless me. But this is what happened to me. You know what I'm saying? And let them know, it was a struggle. I had to struggle. I had to do this. It wasn't easy. You know what I'm saying? Just the simple conversation. Be real, be honest, be open. And I've learned in transparency, our transparencies, it helps so many other people. We go, and God takes us through situations. He don't take us through these situations for ourselves.
Yeah.
It's not for us, it's for other people. It's so he can get the glory, but somebody else can learn from our mistakes, or you know what I'm saying, learn issues or whatever, whatever the case be. But we've got to learn to be transparent at times. Yeah. We do.
I'm with you on that.
What are they saying
so
in this?
Now it is 8:56. I cannot believe it's been just about an hour already. Oh, wow. I'm just scanning through the comments real quick before we kind of wrap up. Oh, does he have a prayer life? Whole family? Oh, yeah, that's the one you read about being an atheist. Yes. Listen, I absolutely enjoyed this conversation. Like, I feel like down the line, we're going to have to find some more.
We're going to have to.
Find some more topics.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. So listen, guys, we truly appreciate you guys coming on and watching and joining in on the Mature Conversation with us. Latisha, I'm so glad that you
I
came on with me.
honored, so honored. Thank you for asking.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
So I would say I like to do like a little reflective kind of thing before we close out. So if there was one thing that, or one little nugget you would leave with people who are watching, whether it's for males, for females, for someone who's single looking to get married or courting or whatever, what would you leave with them? What little nugget to kind of wrap up would you leave with them watching?
Um, I would probably say, in relationships, I would say the biggest thing is pray and ask God for direction. Pray and ask God for direction. And I promise you, He's going to give it. He's going to give you direction. Be um be open.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest with God. If you're praying for a mate, you know what I'm saying? Be specific with
Yeah.
Him. Be specific with God. It's not like He doesn't already know what you want, because He knows everything. But be specific with God.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Tell Him what you want. Tell Him
Mm-hmm.
what you need. Tell Him what you desire.
Yep.
He's God. He's our Father. You know what I'm saying? And He loves His children. He's
Yes.
not going to give you anything that's going to hurt you. He's
Yeah.
not going to give you anyone, you know what I'm saying, that's going to, like I said, hurt you. He's not going to do that. Now, we choose some, whatever's. We
Mm-hmm.
pray and ask God and
Yeah.
trust Him.
When
And
he
if
shows you.
you know what I'm saying, and that's the thing, when He shows you, trust that it's Him. But that's my
Yes.
thing, pray, ask God, ask Him for clarity. You know what I'm saying? God, I want marriage, I want relationship, I want these things, but also, God, make me ready.
That's
Make me ready.
yes.
Make me ready. You know what I'm saying? Clean inside of me, clean up all the mess, get all the junk out. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been in relationships, we've been through, stuff, and our stuff piles up, and it
Yep.
piles up, and it piles up. So, I would say just God, release, get rid of all the junk and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Saying, so I am first. I can first love myself. I
Mm-hmm.
can love me. And then make me ready to love someone else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And God, when it's time, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want this, but I want that. You know what I'm saying? Talk,
Yes.
talk to God. He's listening. He wants
Yes.
to give you the desires of our heart. That's what
Mm-hmm.
He wants. He wants to give us the things that we desire. You know what I'm saying? He wants us to seek Him. He wants us to do those things. So if you want to be married, pray, talk to God. God, I want this. I want
Right.
that. You know what I'm saying? Just pray. Talk to Him. Just like we conversating now.
Yep. That's
Talk
it.
to Him. Talk to Him. I want Him to be 6 foot. I want Him to be tall. You know what I'm saying? All of those things. All of those things. So, just talk to God. Talk to God and trust Him through this process.
Yes.
That's it.
Awesome.
That's
Awesome.
it.
Awesome. Awesome. Listen, once again, I truly appreciate you coming on, and I absolutely love your last nugget. I pray that you all enjoyed this broadcast. Please share, 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 because I truly believe that this is the very answer that someone has been praying for. They needed clarity, they needed direction, and they may not have been cognizant to the voices around them, and they needed to hear two strangers to have a conversation to
Right.
say, this right here was God and I needed it. So go ahead and share it. It will help somebody else. Thank you so much, Latisha, for joining us. And thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.
Good night.